Candace.
And I'm Ripley.
And I'm John.
And this is Comicsplaining.
The show where I don't have a fucking intro, but if you don't like the sound of the blinds, fucking eat me.
Yeah, we've got the window open because it's a little bit hot in the house right now.
But it's not hot enough to need AC.
No.
And I don't want AC, it's nice.
There's a nice breeze outside, so we're making use of that, but it is rattling the blinds quite a bit, so deal with it.
Yep.
But yeah, welcome to the first episode of our new format. We need to make some posts on social media about that to make sure we get coverage on it.
Yeah, we also, don't be surprised if like a year down the road we just change to top 40.
Greatest hits of the 90s, the 80s, 90s, and more.
And more. I'm still so mad that happened with Doug.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, for all Detroit listeners.
All the Detroit listeners.
Doug FM.
Remember Doug.
I don't even know what Doug is. So.
You don't listen to music, so your opinion is invalid.
I listen to music, I just don't listen to, like, normal people music. I'm a little further down on the iceberg, but only a little.
So anyway, this is going to be a supersized recording where Chai blocks half of the comic.
Yes. Oh no, she's trying to grab.
She loves to grab the mouse. She loves to chase the mouse, the little mousey.
Oh no, I see it. She's hunting. Holy crap, the cat is hunting.
She is so funny with the TV.
Take a picture of this for social media.
Take a video of it.
She has inspected the equipment and found it satisfactory.
Yep, and declared that it is hers.
Yes, she has marked the equipment.
Alright, so the mark of Mephisto.
Well, first of all, you guys need to tell me what happened last time with Thor. It was last week, so you should remember. And it was only one issue. Thor
got banished because he was being mouthy.
Yep.
And that also got the rest of his friends banished for some fucking reason.
And then they started getting they stayed at Avengers Mansion of all things. I think this is the first time that's been mentioned in a Thor, right? Uh-oh.
No,
So they were at Avengers Mansion.
And well, they were moping. Thor was doing the universal binge watch of television.
Yep.
Fandral tried to fight Iron Man.
He did.
He was just getting a little feisty.
Yeah, but eventually Fandral, Hogan... No, Fandral...
Sif and Thor went on a date.
Yeah.
Volstagg is missing because he's in a basement with a devil child.
They forgot about Volstagg. Fandral, Hogan, and Balder went out to get drunk. Balder really mostly just to be a sad drunk.
Yeah.
And Tananile and Silas Grant disappeared under a bridge.
And Hildegard.
Oh, Hildegard was there too.
But
I thought it was just those two.
But yeah, basically everyone's slowly been being kidnapped one by one.
By Mephisto.
It turns out Mephisto.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was one other important thing that happened. Thor turned into Donald Blake for his date with Sif, and they went to his medical office and found that the door was barred.
Yeah.
Because landlords are fucking assholes.
Yeah.
Also, it may be longer than he thought.
Well, more importantly...
Someone new bought the building.
Yeah, it's under new ownership.
And apparently they didn't have any record of the deal that...
They didn't have a copy of his lease.
Hey, Thor, where's your lease? Where are you keeping that?
The old guy just had bad filing systems.
I mean, were you keeping it in your office? Because if so, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. The landlord's right there. He can walk you in to go get it.
But
it was just like wood placed in brackets so they could just slide the wood out.
True, but I feel like that's when he calls the cops on him.
Well, probably.
And then you have a bit of a problem.
But yeah, so their friends got taken by Mephisto. Thor and Sif got captured by a tentacle monster and then ended up in a different place that turned out to be Christian Hell.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Because Mephisto was there.
Yeah.
It's very weird that the literal Christian devil is just here.
He's just here.
He was upset that he didn't get to join the whole underworld fun thing.
Yeah.
They left him out. I forgot my drink, I'm sorry.
Trying to figure out what you were looking for.
I thought you just wanted to get out.
Like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
You're out.
That's okay, me and John will do it alone. John, read several hundred issues of X-Men.
I mean, that I don't know X-Men like Ripley does.
Well,
That's why I said you gotta read it, bitch.
Well, you guys will make your way through eventually. You're just gonna have to touch a whole lot more horse shit than... Because I know everything.
Yeah, you know what to dodge.
Well, now that Ripley's off the show, let's go ahead and read Thor number 205 from August of 1972, written by Jerry Conway, penciled by John Buscema, inked by Vince Colletta, lettered by John Costanza, and the cover art is by Gil Kane.
Alright, cool. So that works. I'll just be off to the side, sabotaging the podcast by making off-color commentary.
Okay, sounds great.
I can sometimes hear their voice.
They're not dead.
I'm gonna start saying slurs if you continue.
I don't know how to reply to that.
That's right, it's a hostage situation, motherfucker.
But you cancel yourself if you do it.
I'm good with that. I'm willing to be on the brink here.
Thor time!
Thor time.
Mephisto taunts Thor from atop his throne of flame for a moment before revealing that he has not only the Thunder God's friends, but also a bunch of randos from Earth under his sway.
And for some people that wouldn't matter, but because this is Thor,
he cares about that. He says that he is going to use this army of thralls to take over the Earth, but brought Thor here specifically to get him out of the way. I don't know how exactly he's planning to accomplish this, why he needs an army of hypnotized humans, or why he even wants such a thing.
Why specifically Thor? There are so many other people that are going to get in the way of this.
could he not hypnotize Thor?
Well, as far as I knew, his whole deal is that he wants to trick people into,
Right.
selling their souls or whatever.
Exactly.
Devil stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess he wants to take over Earth now, so whatever.
Sure.
Earth has many souls to tempt.
Thor says thee nay!
Good.
Till his last breath he will fight. And his heroic speech is cut off as a demon falls from above and tackles him to the ground.
Wah, wah.
Does it tackle him or did it just fucking fall on him?
I mean, I would say that's the equivalent.
I don't know. I'm going with fall. This thing did a flying tackle.
I just love that he makes a fucking noise.
I love when they do that.
And I love that Mephisto wants him to keep talking.
Muffy is like, please do go on with your monologue of honor and righteousness or whatever. Also, here's a dozen more demons.
Go ahead, talk. Please, do your best to go on while my demons beat the crap out of you.
Thor dispatches the group, declaring that he will triumph over any and all in his path. And Muffy is like, wow, interesting. How about a whole army this time? The Odinson slams his mallet on the ground, sending the advancing group falling into the flames below. But they are demons, so I don't know how effective that really is.
Yeah, and then Muffy sounds a million demons! And then Thor fights a million demons!
I would love it if you did, because that would meet the rule of threes, but no.
They don't meet the rule of threes.
He is absolutely loving this. The violence and destruction are to die for. And what fun would it be if Thor was killed by some measly demons anyway?
No, this all tracks.
He should drag this out and have the time to really appreciate the situation. His friends so nearby but unable to help. The devil urges his foe to look into their eyes and see the recognition. That's right, they are completely conscious and fully aware of what's happening. This was all by design, but the worst is yet to come as Thor turns to see Sif running toward him with an axe.
Oh, thank God.
The demons were just a distraction to occupy him, while Mephisto captured the mind of his beloved and ordered her to strike.
Did he not already have the mind of his beloved?
No, Sif,
she was the one who was
Sif arrived with Thor.
Yeah.
Because they were on a date.
Yeah.
But Thor won't give in to despair so easily, nor will he be goaded into striking the woman he loves. He catches her flailing arms, holding her fast until Mephisto abandons this gambit and releases the Lady Sif from his spell. I actually really like this face.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oof.
She falls instantly asleep in the Thunder God's arms, and Muffy says that she will remain so until the world above belongs to him.
Okay.
She looks very Betty Boop here.
Yeah,
And
well,
Mephisto's looking kind of sexy.
well, he's the devil.
Right, lust is a sin.
I know. But yeah, we're definitely not in the stand here anymore.
No. I'm really doing you a disservice by not reading this dialogue, but this isn't a let's read, so y'all are just gonna have to go read it yourself if you want the flavor. Suffice to say, I really find the banter and the characterization of both Mephisto and Thor to be fucking immaculate.
It's very fun.
It's now that the devil reveals the details of his scheme. I honestly think he was just waiting to be asked, but all Thor kept saying was that he's going to kill him, and he really wanted to give his presentation about it.
Yeah, Thor just doesn't indulge in what he wants.
Thor
he just
really
sees
doesn't.
shit and he wants to start hitting
Thor
it.
Yeah,
is
that's-
the wrong guy for him to take on. Really.
Thor never indulges the villains. He's just like, let's fucking do this. Let's throw down.
Let's go!
Mephisto needs someone
Let's
who will
fucking go!
engage.
Am I right, teens? The plan is thus. The assembled humans will be possessed by demons and sent back to Earth to wreak chaos. It's simple, but sometimes simple is best.
I like this guy's face.
Whew.
Really excellent.
Thor apparently doesn't think much of this plan, but Mephisto is ready to prove its efficacy. After all, what man could raise his hands to a friend? A father? A lover? Balder and the Warriors 3 come trudging up the hill, each with a weapon in hand.
Wait, what?
Thor parries a blow while having a monologue about this, culminating in throwing himself to the ground in a melodramatic fit of despair, which is actually just a ploy to draw his friends in close enough to catch them all in a tornado.
No, that's not Thor with Loki.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Mephisto. Thor's been trained against this kind of combat by the best. You are not the best, but you are also exactly the thing, Thor.
The fucking fainting couch.
I know.
Literally, Thor knows how to deal
Something
with
that
this.
Loki has literally done.
Oh, it's me.
The wind tunnel deposits them on a distant peak, and then Thor also moves a bunch of rocks somehow to trap them there.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Now they are safe.
He's got skills. He's
He
got
does.
the skills for that.
Now they are safe from both Mephisto and Thor himself. Muffy is I'm sorry, I keep calling him Muffy. It's something that is going to be in my brain forever.
Where did you pick this up from?
I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Oh no.
I think that's an excellent choice because saying Mephisto every time is boring, and that way you can alternate.
It's true. Also, calling him Muffy is funny.
I mean,
Agreed.
there's the other half of his name, Fisto.
And I'd rather not.
No, that's that robot, right?
Yes, the very not monetizable robot.
Well, we've already said fisting in the first 10 minutes before, I think, so.
Muffy is disgusted by this sentiment and responds by summoning the damned souls of, Hitler?
Okay.
And also a bunch of other guys, but I can't really focus on anything except Hitler.
Hitler's not, known for his martial prowess.
I'm assuming we've got,
I think this is Attila the Hun.
Yeah.
And this is Blackbeard.
Yeah,
that
and,
tracks.
the fucking Mongolian guy everyone's fucking descended from in Asia.
Genghis Khan?
Genghis Khan!
Is that supposed to be Jack the Ripper in the top hat?
Possibly.
Well, now we'll never know because the cat is in the way of the screen again.
Now we know how Hitler looks in green.
But Hitler?
Blackbeard. That's what's going on down there. Blackbeard.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Hey, Mephisto? Hitler isn't known for his ability to fight.
Who's this French guy?
Robespierre? That would make sense. But
I don't
who's
know,
the
he's
guy in
French,
the hood?
A guy with a knife. And a hook hand?
Holy shit.
What the
There's a
hell?
lot going on there.
Man hand hook car door. It's him!
I'm just guessing with Robespierre. He's the
Well,
most cursed name in modern French history.
it's not just these guys It's just, these are the most notable guys. It's a whole bunch of famously shitty people who are in hell.
All the evil people. All the real baddies.
So we see on the next page, as Hitler commands a bunch of Nazis to attack.
Okay! We have Thor killing
Nazis
in hell.
He was in war, so maybe he can fight. I don't know.
No, he can't.
No.
He can't fight. He's not a fighter.
I don't understand what's going on here, frankly.
I
mean, I guess there are plenty of Nazis in hell.
I can tell you what happened. Thor just turned into the Doom guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god, it's Wolfenstein. We're playing Wolfenstein again.
I want that game. But Thor repels the dead Nazis, and then Attila comes in on a fucking cannon.
Those ancient cannons. It's just like the Asgardian cannons. Of course.
Actually, it's a hell cannon.
Yeah, it's just like an Asgardian cannon.
What they need to do is roll out that ye old Russian tank with the giant wheel.
And Mephisto's still doing the poses.
Yeah, Mephisto's just...
I swear to God, I think I know. I think I recognize these poses too. I think these are actual depictions of the devil.
Well, the one that you were talking about a few pages ago...
Some of these are recognizable. I've seen these poses in classical art.
This one definitely feels familiar.
That is taking a poke at the Sistine Chapel.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
But I think that other one might actually be from that really attractive depiction of the devil that the Catholic Church was unhappy about. And then they had another one made by the guy's brother, and that one was even more sexy.
Either way, props to John Buscema for killing it in this issue.
With stupid, sexy Satan.
So Thor breaks the cannon immediately. But what the fuck? Mephisto then summons an endless wave of dead fuckers. And then goes to chill in his castle until Thor is dead.
Fair enough, a lot of people have died.
Yeah.
And apparently they've gone to hell.
A lot of people have gone to hell. I assume. A couple hours later, the noises outside cease.
Hours, God.
And he summons wine to toast. He summons wine to toast his victory.
A toast to your defeat.
Shut up.
Stupid, sexy, Bostonian Satan.
But it's a little too soon to celebrate, as Thor barges in through the door, looking, if anything, more pissed off from this experience.
I imagine he actually had a pretty good time, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's a Viking war god.
He's a Viking war god, and
these
everybody
are all
loves the chance to beat up Hitler.
Exactly.
He got a chance to beat up Hitler.
He gets to join the Avengers Club of people who got to beat up Hitler, of exactly 2 people.
He's gonna go back to Avengers Mansion, and he's gonna see Cap, and he's gonna be like, hey, you know that guy you fought? I met him, and I punched him in the face.
He was the fucking worst, you're right.
I did fight him in hell, but that doesn't really matter, because I still fought him.
He advances and tries to punch Mephisto, but the devil catches his arm and his flesh begins to sizzle in that fiery grip.
Ooh.
Our hero collapses under a pain such as he has never experienced, and Muffy offers him the chance to bring an end to it by swearing allegiance. But Thor would never do such a thing, as his free hand swings Mjolnir around to sock his foe in the jaw.
Torturing him to agree seems rather base for Mephisto.
Besides, swearing allegiance away from his dad who has disowned him? That there are so many easier ways that you could get Thor on your side than this.
Bringing him here and saying, join me or else.
This wasn't his first plan, as we'll see. But this has confirmed Thor's suspicions. Mephisto doesn't just want to kill him, he wants to conquer him, to gain his fealty and use him to attack the Earth. They begin to grapple and finally the truth comes to light. This was all a ploy to trick Thor into striking an innocent, thereby damning his soul. The Odinson hadn't known this at first, but he has sworn to never do that anyway, so it was never going to work out.
Right, if he was going to trick him into fighting an innocent soul, I mean, does that even count if you tricked into it?
Not gonna lie, when you said conquer, my brain went a completely different direction, and I started thinking, maybe that's why he's being stupid sexy Satan over here.
No, he's not interested in Thor that way. He wants Loki to join him in an eternity of sin. We've already covered that.
Well, I mean, sometimes if you can't have one, their sibling is fine too.
They're not
You're a
remotely the
weirdo.
same. That's weird.
I mean, there are people like that, but
There
it's
are
weird.
people like that, but
they're
it is
terrible,
weird.
terrible people, and this is Satan.
That's
so
true.
let's think about that for a second.
That's true. Well, they start wrestling above a boiling pit of lava,
Excellent.
which Thor heaves and throws the devil into. Muffy pops his head back up like, you really didn't think this was going to kill me, did you?
Anakin, you were my brother! I loved you like a brother!
Except with this face.
Oh God, that's not a look.
And Thor's like, nah. And hits the rock ceiling above him with a blast from his hammer that buries the pool in rubble, which melts and then cools.
I mean, that'll take like 5 minutes to get out from.
Yeah,
but
this solves the Mephisto problem forever.
yes,
Well-
Mephisto is dead.
That's not, I mean, he says it's not a permanent solution. But for now, at least,
Sleep
It'll keep the
thee
Earth
well,
safe.
Mephisto.
yeah.
I do
Tucking
like
him into
this.
the lava.
I do like this, though for myself I fear there will be many restless nights. From this day Thor will ever walk alone.
Hildegard says the name, Lord. Thor finds his friends, safe and sound, released from the spell that held them. They all gather around to greet and comfort him, seeing the exhaustion plain on his face. Yet before they can leave this place, he must return the captured humans to their homes. He does so.
Not Hitler, though, right?
The captured humans, not the dead ones.
Well, I don't know. I feel like Hitler might be trying to sneak in with the captured ones.
I think Thor knows the difference.
Hitler with a
A fake mustache on over his mustache.
I was gonna say a hoodie, sunglasses, and a baseball cap.
Yeah.
And thus Hitler
It is Marvel.
And thus Hitler has been released into the world yet again.
That's gonna be a great Captain America issue, though.
Well, he does that, and then the Asgardians fly back to the surface, because hell is just underground, you know?
Apparently.
Where they find the world wholly unchanged, all of its occupants going about their lives, blissfully unaware of the battle over their souls taking place down below.
Thor didn't tell them?
No, why would he?
I don't know. If I were suddenly taken...
Oh, I mean,
enthralled by the devil, I might want to know a little bit about what happened while I was out.
nobody cares about those people. They're gone now. What do you guys think of that issue?
I thought that was a blast. I enjoyed that.
I wasn't expecting this to turn into Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein with a little bit of Doom mixed in.
I was having fun with that.
He
Yeah,
did go to hell.
I don't know if it hits the absolute quality level enough that I can justify a 4, but I really enjoyed myself, so 3.5.
It was decent, yeah. We'll go with that.
I'd give it a 4, and I would really recommend, if you're interested in such a thing, that you go and read it yourself, because you are not getting the full experience without reading every single bit of dialogue.
Really, any of these comics, you are only getting what we pull out of it. There's all kinds of flavor that gets left out, so...
We're not gonna recap it word by word.
We would have to sit here and do an audio play, which admittedly would be fun, but probably would get us sued.
Yeah. Let's move on to Thor number 206, from September of 1972, written by Jerry Conway, penciled by John Buscema, inked by Vince Coletta, and lettered by John Costanza. It's late summer in Rutland, Vermont, and two young boys while away the last hours of vacation, fishing under the stars.
You say Rutland and I immediately get Kill Bill sirens.
One of them points to a comet streaking across the night sky, but the other doesn't care about anything except the end of the season and the imminent return of school. At least, he doesn't care about it until it crashes into the ground a mile or two behind them. The boys wander over to get a look at the object. Some kind of glass or crystal, which cracks open as they watch. A shadowy, humanoid figure emerges. The boys turn to run, but it's too late. They've been spotted. A crack of energy lights up the field, and the kids are made still as statues.
Rip.
Satisfied with this, the mysterious figure moves to a spot overlooking the water, where it raises its hands to the sky and shoots out a beam of light. The beam arcs over the land, touching down far, far away, where it pulverizes a pile of stone. Then, slowly, Crusher Creel emerges from that rubble, freed from the stony prison in which the Hulk left him.
What the fuck just happened?
I think Carl got a power boost.
From who?
The home?
No. So the note saying where Carl last appeared was in home number 125, which is where he got basically like a mountain thrown on him.
Yeah.
So that's where he is.
So I guess surviving that made him strong.
No.
I got nothing.
No.
I got nothing.
No, he just got blasted free.
The person who came from the comet is a completely different person. That's not Carl.
Oh.
It's been a week since Thor's exile first began, and though he has spent countless hours in contemplation, he finds no remorse for what he did.
Oh, the guy who did all the freezing thing also freed Carl.
What?
Yeah, he froze the children and then freed Carl.
Yeah, I thought that was Carl. I was very confused.
Yeah, Carl and his petrification powers.
Yeah, I was like...
And his beam powers.
When did Carl get beams? You
No.
you can kind of understand why I was confused.
So Thor has no remorse for what he did. Sadness and weariness of the situation, certainly, but no contrition. He knows that he was right.
Damn right.
He returns to the mansion, where Jarvis informs him that he will be having dinner alone. His friends have left on a camping trip, and the Avengers left shortly after them on some other business.
Wow.
Hildy's fucking hippie clothes kill me.
So he sits in front of the TV in silence. Hildy and Sif stand on the bank of the Hudson River. The former would like to be off, but the latter needs time to contemplate this place. The realm that her beloved adores. She feels that the city pulses with a life of its own, something huge and compelling. She wonders if this is why people choose to stay here, even when they'd be better off elsewhere. But Hildegard counters that it's probably more a lack of money.
Hildegard, actually aware of the world.
Practicalist. It's convenient that they're there because it means they witness the arrival of the Absorbing Man.
Hi, Carl!
He seems to fall from the sky, bouncing off the palisade before touching down on the deck beside them. He clutches his head and screams about something, or someone, compelling him to kill Thor.
He needs compulsion to do that?
Yeah. Then he bounds off again, and the ladies run into their jet copter to retrieve their gear and prepare for battle.
Their jet copter?
Yeah.
Oh, they took... or... no.
I guess they took Avengers thing?
Yeah, they loaned it.
Okay.
Probably. I mean, they're staying at Avengers Mansion, so assumedly they have some kind of deal.
Okay. Thor just asked his good buddy Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thor asked Iron Man's good buddy Anthony.
No, Thor's good buddy Anthony. He's
Yeah.
Thor's buddy, too.
Yes. Thor is friends with both Iron Man and Anthony.
I mean, it makes sense because Iron Man is Tony's bodyguard.
Exactly. They're never separated.
They're never separated, and no one wonders why.
Carl has arrived in the city and is doing what he does best. Destroy things while yelling about Thor.
Yeah, that sounds...
It tracks.
The zoomies continue.
He's kind of acting randomly, driven by the pain periodically gripping his head. Police respond to the situation, but they are severely outclassed.
Yay!
And all they can do is put in a call to the Avengers before it's too late. The call is received, and Jarvis bursts back into Thor's depression bubble to deliver the news. The Thunder God doesn't need to know the details, because he takes off immediately, bursting through a window rather than take the extra couple minutes to go outside like a normal person.
Poor Jarvis.
Fuck.
Leaving poor Jarvis to clean up the mess and phone the repairman.
He's used to it by now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
They have to set up, like, barricades.
Tony must be paying him so much.
Oh, there's no way he's not.
I mean, I'm sure he was paying him so much before he even became an Avenger.
Yeah, but now he's like he's an actual
I
Avenger?
want hazard pay now.
Wait, Jarvis is like a proper Avenger?
Actually, I think he might be, like, an honorary Avenger.
I mean, he deserves it.
He's in as much danger as most of the Avengers, and he doesn't have powers. He's just a guy.
Jarvis definitely gets hazard pay.
Yeah. Sif and Hildy have arrived on site, both armored and with sword in hand. Sif has a new look, and while I'm not a fan of all-white outfits, at least it's practical.
It's covering.
It's much better than it has been of late.
Yes.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
The two present a united front as the Lady Sif declares that they will fight this foe together or not at all. Carl is a gross sexist about this, telling them to go home to their kids that they don't have because he doesn't fight girls. Sif is like, well, that sucks for you because these girls are gonna fight you anyway.
Yeah, if you're not gonna fight him, you're gonna get your fucking ass beat.
And she swings her blade at him. It would be a good hit if he wasn't steeled up, but as is, it just glances off him. He tosses a steel girder at them, but Hildegard catches and uses it as a lance, striking straight at his chest. He has to admit, that was a good blow, but attacks like that are just power for the Absorbing Man, and with one swing of his ball and chain, he takes them both out.
Lame.
I know. Thor arrives to find his beloved unconscious on the ground. As he takes her in his arms, he feels the weary malaise of the past week give way to a raging inferno of anger and hatred.
Carl's dead.
Let's take an intermission back to Vermont, where a weary figure trudges up to the home of Tom Fagin.
Oh, I've run into Tom Fagin before.
Two dogs, named Satan and Diablo,
Wow.
take off toward the man with growls and barks, but one gesture causes them to shrink back in fear. Tom appears at the door, chastising the dogs, and offering help to the stranger. The figure begs for aid, claiming to have lost his way somehow, and Tom, being the friendly sort, invites him in for a while.
I don't know, with dogs with those names. Is he?
Yeah,
Well,
he's the guy who hosts the Halloween party.
If you're super friendly, sometimes that means you need some dogs to help defend you.
It's true. He's preparing for a party soon, and has plenty of food and rooms to spare.
I knew when we went to fucking Rutland we were gonna end up dealing with this horse shit.
Thor and Carl have met at last, and are immediately engaged in combat. Crusher flails wildly, yelling that he wants to make the pain go away, and killing Thor is the way to do that. This causes Thor to retort with, "Then thou hast made a mistake, most dear, for thy pain hath only begun." Which is a cool line.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Carl gives us the same old spiel that whenever Thor's attack him, he'll just absorb his power.
Yada yada yada.
But he gives the Thunder God too little credit. He's no dummy, after all. Thor gets his hands on the Absorbing Man's chain and uses it to toss him around, slamming him through a wall.
Absorb this.
The ladies have recovered at this point, and Hildegard calls to him from nearby, trying to show him that Sif is okay so he can calm the fuck down. But Sif recognizes the look in his eyes and knows that he can't be stopped so easily.
The anger's useful. Carl needs a beating.
He does.
He really does after some of the stuff he said.
But Carl is fighting with a primal need. The pain still throbs in his skull, compelling him forward. He pulls himself up and rejoins the fray, using the weight of his weapon to its full effect. He swings it until the chain wraps around the Odinson, then steps in close to crush him with the bonds.
You know, this reminds me way too much of the last time we had to deal with Rutland, when the Juggernaut was compelled. He absolutely had to fight Beast. Something was making him fight Beast. He couldn't help it. He had to fight Beast, and he got sucked into a hole.
Rutland is dumb.
This feels eerily, just uncannily similar.
So your prediction is that Carl's gonna get sucked into a hole?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Alright, well, we'll see. On distant Asgard...
No, wait, he got sucked into holes, and then he got unsucked into a hole, and then he died horribly.
Forever.
Yeah.
On distant Asgard, the Royal Vizier shows this all to Carnilla, who really couldn't give less of a fuck about it.
Mr. Vizier, why are you even bothering?
She's not interested in Thor, save where it concerns Balder. The Vizier slumps into a chair, feeling hopeless despair. In the absence of his son, Odin has grown bitter and wrathful more than before.
Yeah.
That's
he's grown wrathful? That's
Right.
new.
Each day he hands down new edicts. First, he bans anyone from so much as saying Thor's name, shortly followed by the rest of them.
If you sag your pants, we will staple your pants upwards.
God.
Then he decrees that none may swear allegiance to any but him, a fealty sworn daily.
And no one in town is allowed to dance.
These are some very dynamic-looking panels for that establishing shot.
Yeah, that's nice. Like, we've got some foreground and background going on. That's nice.
It's not like we've changed artists, either.
Cornelia beseeches her distant love for answers, for the reason why he would turn from her and thrust her unwilling into this crock of bullshit. Speaking of Balder the Brave, how's that camping trip going?
Mm-hmm.
Not great, it seems like. Our boy Balder is still pining, and Fandral is tirelessly trying to get him to stop. Thus, a boys' trip, which is not having the desired effect, as Balder spends all his time staring into the middle distance and refusing to eat. Fandral tells him that they're worried about him, justly so, I think, and he doesn't really have anything to say for himself. And I just think, if my friend was doing this, I would probably smack them.
Well, he wouldn't feel it.
That's true. Technically, Fandral can't do that. Because he is sworn to never harm Balder.
Yes.
Oh, he's not sworn to never hit him, just never harm him.
Yeah.
And he can't harm him.
Thor has gotten free in the meantime, and the battle continues. It's pretty much all the same thing and doesn't really bear repeating in fine detail.
Yeah, we've seen this battle before.
We have. Eventually, Carl smashes the Thunder God through the window of a bodega, where the manager is stocking shelves despite the commotion outside.
Oh, it's New York.
He doesn't know what to do about this situation, and I can't decide if this guy is maybe not used to this because he's not local, or if he's the most New Yorker ever, just ignoring the superhero battle outside because he's got shit to do.
I mean,
That's kind of where I fall, is that it's the Marvel New Yorkers have seen fucking everything.
Well, I mean, look at his response. Wait, you can't just... Oh, forget it. I'm insured. Which also begs the question... What?
Superhero insurance is a thing.
It definitely is.
It is a canonical thing.
Well, he says he's insured, which means
Acts of God.
that you can be insured for acts of God now.
Thor takes off back out the window and reunites with the ladies on the corner. They ask how he is after that last blow, and he assures them that he's fine. He sensed something in Creel and took the hit to allow his foe to escape, that they could follow him to the true source of the problem. I thought Carl was determined to kill Thor, so I don't know why he would leave without doing that.
Oh man, insurance fraud's gotta be fucking wild in the Marvel universe.
Does that mean you could hire villains to break your
Right,
store?
that's what I'm saying.
God.
And that means
I would love to read a comic about that,
And the
actually.
insurance agents have to basically be like Avengers level.
Right, you gotta have like
talents.
there has to be like an intelligence team to figure out if their insurance claims are actually legitimate.
You need SHIELD level of intelligence and Avengers level claims adjusters.
This guy says he's the Concrete Man. Has anyone here ever heard of the Concrete Man before?
I've never heard of some concrete, baby.
Maybe Carl is just acting erratically because of his migraine, or who knows what. But he can fly now, apparently.
Because of course he can. Why not?
Why not?
What did he absorb to give him flying, I wonder?
No fucking idea. The absorbing man...
He's just jumping, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know. The absorbing man flies all the way to Vermont, where he sets down outside a darkened home. He creeps toward the front door, feeling his head pounding as he nears the source of his compulsion. And it's Loki. It's obviously Loki. We all knew it was Loki.
It was always going to be Loki.
The trickster has ensorcelled Tom Fagin and taken over the house, along with the dogs.
I imagine Loki still wants to attend the party.
Yeah, I'm sure. They invite Carl in to discuss how they can, together, deal with Thor once and for all.
Doubt.
So what'd you guys think of that issue?
That was stupid and bad.
Welcome back, Loki!
2.5 stars.
Hey, Loki has green eyes for the first time ever.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say that for as weak as this story is, the art's on point.
Yeah, the art's pretty good.
Like, we are getting more dynamic frames, better
Oh, we
angles.
got what, a Dutch angle here?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I don't think the Stan era really went for that.
Not much. It started getting different towards the end of it.
I just love whenever they try to do this reveal that it was Loki.
It was always Loki.
When it's like, not only is it obvious from the story perspective that it's Loki, but also they never do a good job of hiding it because, like, they just think that taking Loki out of their outfit will make us realize, oh, hey, it's a guy with, like, black hair who's, like, skinny and stuff. That's definitely someone else who isn't Loki.
Also, who would summon
and also
Carl?
Also, yeah, and he summoned Carl, and also they're speaking in these...
vengeance on Thor, for one.
And they're also speaking in these and thous.
Thou wilt need find other meat. Wow, back I say thee, back. Poor as it is, my skin is mine alone.
Like, it was obvious from the beginning.
Frickin' Asgard accent.
I just think it's so fucking funny when they try to hide that it's Loki and it doesn't work.
I love that none of us even bothered to say that it was Loki. It was so obvious it was Loki.
I'm glad you didn't, because I really wanted that joke at the end to land. Ratings, though?
This is a weak issue.
2.5.
It's pretty.
It is nice looking.
But I think it relies on you not knowing Loki's relation to Carl.
And also giving a shit about Crusher Creel.
Right.
Yes.
Because if you know anything about Crusher Creel, you're learning nothing new here.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting a review of
Exactly.
it. That's what this is. This is a review of Carl.
We're getting to catch up on the old tropes so we can know what we have when we dive back in.
And so now that we can maybe subvert some of the tropes, we have experienced them. Because how long ago was it the last time Carl showed up?
It's been a bit. It's been a hot sec.
Hey, Tom, your house looks like shit, dude.
Yeah, I'm inviting everyone over to my fucking
this.
house party with the plaster showing.
Fucking cracks in the ceiling.
What's going on, my guy? Loki being here didn't do that.
No. Loki just has that effect everywhere they go.
Loki decays the structures in their
Loki
vicinity.
comes into the house, starts gnawing on the support beams.
So
and you're never gonna get him out.
So Loki.
You see one Loki, there's 10,000 more in the walls.
Oh no! Oh no!
Isn't that just the Loki show?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for Thor, right?
Yes.
That's it for our first half of the show. While we've got you in the middle here, let's run through our stuff. We have an email.
We have our first email.
How do I get it? Where's my email? There's the email.
We're so excited about it. We have an email from Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
So Pete sent us an email and it says, "Howdy, recently discovered your pod and began listening from the beginning. I'm up to episode 81. It's fun to hear predictions on Marvel movies and Disney+. I've always liked X-Men, but found a renewed love for Thor while listening to your enthusiasm. Looking forward to getting caught up soon. Thanks a bunch, and keep up the fun." Thank you, Pete. This made our entire lives.
It did. We hope we're not going to lose you in the changeover.
In the transition to YouTube.
I'm seriously tempted to keep the podcast feed live for another month to give you a chance.
At least.
Just for you, Pete.
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 We hope we don't lose you in the YouTube transition because I really love we really love the feedback. And it's really cool to hear someone getting excited about a different comic from this.
Yeah.
Oh, Pete.
You have given us so much motivation to continue doing this. We were always going to continue doing it, but...
We have a renewed...
A renewed vigor. Joie de vivre.
Exactly.
You came here, you told us you actually care about this thing we're doing.
It's cool. There's been like 3 people who've done that, and
it's been a while
so
since the last
appreciated. One. So I guess maybe we should give other people our contact details so we can get more email and get that serotonin boost.
Yeah.
You can hit us up over at comicsplaining@gmail.com. We'll read your stuff on the air too. You can also hit us up over on social media. We are on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where we just took a video of the producer on the set.
Yeah, being a complete nuisance today.
Being a menace. It is full of it. Piss and vinegar. We are also over on Discord if anybody wants to hang out. We have a Discord group. We include it in the description every week. For those of you who aren't on the YouTube, since we are moving to YouTube exclusively, we are over there. Like, subscribe, hit the bell button. The YouTube version also has video stuff, just like little clips of the stuff we're talking about. So it is kind of an enhanced experience over there. So that's cool. We're going to be getting to the X-Men half of the show. So you want to tell me what happened last time on X-Men?
Okay, so we had this convoluted clusterfuck in Canada.
Yes! Canada.
Correct.
That was it.
And it was all about how the Prime Minister wanted Wolverine back.
Yeah.
Turns out...
The X-Men did not want to give Wolverine back.
yes. But also, it did sort of start an international incident.
A little
Correct.
bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Involving several different nations.
Yep. Including America.
Including America. And
USA!
Japan.
USA!
And Japan. Because Japan was like, the X-Men just saved our fucking country. Can you maybe not?
And they did just come from the Japan, and you can't just do that. You can't just reroute them.
But the X-Men were fighting Alpha Flight.
Yep.
And that wasn't going very well.
No, but an Alpha Flight's like, we have teamwork and you don't.
Which was not a fair assessment.
It was not.
No. They had home field advantage, which is different.
And they also had specific training on fighting the X-Men.
Right, they also know who they are.
And the X-Men have never heard of these clowns.
Apart from Vindicator.
Right. Who they heard about because he ruined Wolverine's picnic.
Correct.
But fucking Logan didn't even tell them anything about him at the time, so they just knew he existed. But they were fighting, and it wasn't going well for the X-Men, and then they stopped fighting. Well, North Star sucker punched Storm. And then Cyclops was about to kill a motherfucker.
And that's not an exaggeration. Cyclops really was about to I-beam someone to death.
And then Wolverine was like, all right, everybody calm down. I'm just gonna go
Do what they want? What?
with them.
I don't want to see you guys get beat up any. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, Wolverine, voice of caution.
Yeah, well, sometimes he is, though. But, so, Wolverine got into an armored car and went away with the Canadians, and the rest of them got on their plane.
That was somehow reassembled after that plane crash.
Yup, and they left Canada.
But they were about to turn it around and go back for Wolverine.
They were gonna go back for Wolverine.
They're
but
surely
then...
gonna stop looking once we cross the border, right?
Yeah, totally.
We're not going to be on their radar once we cross the Canadian border, right?
That's how radars work. They just stop.
Yes.
But Scott went to the cockpit to tell the pilot to go back, and Wolverine was there because he broke out of the truck
Almost
and snuck
immediately.
onto the fucking plane. Gasp! And then the Prime Minister of Canada was like, fuck it.
This is costing us too much money, eh?
I don't care.
This is so
that
fucking
much.
expensive, eh?
How am I going to explain it to the Queen?
When she comes around asking why you've been spending your allowance so irresponsibly.
And then the B story was an Alien ripoff.
Right.
And was really skeevy.
Was really skeevy on the part of Logan.
Yep.
It was basically just them dealing with some fucking Giger-looking bullshit
Goop.
while Wolverine was really creepy about Jean.
Yep. Nothing happened.
Nothing
Absolutely
worth
nothing happened. It was just like 8 pages of Wolverine being gross and annoying.
Yeah.
And I get this horrible feeling that is a direction we're going to head towards.
Logan's
Sometimes.
actually usually generally kind of decent. That's why that was so noteworthily out of character. Like, he can be creepy and gross, but he's usually not, like, skeevy and gross. He's just like, hey, why don't you get with me instead of your man, eh?
Oh, it's so different with the Canadian accent.
And, like, that's just annoying. That's not skeevy.
Right.
But
But
that
he
was
was-
just really gross.
He was 100% skeeve.
Yeah. So, let's wash our mouths of that. We've checked in with every other pre-boot X-Man except for Bobby and Warren, and I, for one, will not stand for it anymore. They've gone through the entire run of the Champions, and we have not seen them. So, our first issue is going to be the 1978 Incredible Hulk Annual, which will actually be relevant in like 30 years, I promise.
Oh, great. I'm excited. I'm excited to not remember it.
Written by Roger Stern, writing in pencils by John Byrne, inks by Bob Layton, colors by Janice Cohen, and letters by Jim Novak.
You know some of those names.
We've come through all these names, actually.
Yeah, but I recognize at least some of them. Wow.
Roger Stern's a new name for us, so what's the
Thought
deal?
so.
He's got a lengthy Wikipedia page, but it's mostly just tracing his career, what books he's on, when, and all that. He's got a pretty good reputation, though. He's another one of those guys I saw being described as the third wave of Marvel creators, which I will now be stealing.
Is he still around?
Yes.
Nice.
I'm going to throw that in this cute little snippet from an interview he gave, though. Do you think Superman should have long hair like in the comics or short hair like in the TV show? I think Superman should have whatever length of hair he wants.
So what you're saying is he disagrees strongly with Stan's idea that the writer decides.
I guess. On to the book.
Also, Marvel's green skin TV sensation.
I mean,
Yeah,
The
this
Incredible
must
Hulk
be-
It's
was
that
a big
era.
deal.
It's that era.
This must be after Lou Ferrigno.
Right now.
Lou Ferrigno.
On to the book.
Oh, boy.
Well,
We open on Warren Worthington, laying around dramatically, facing away from his TV, and indeed the gorgeous mountain view behind him, because wealth is truly wasted on the wealthy.
he's also looking, yeah.
You will find that everyone here is always in a swimsuit at all times.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
Elsewhere, according to the newscaster, Bruce Banner has turned himself in for treatment. Good for you, Bruce. The first step to getting your life back on track is admitting you have a problem.
And he's
That's
going
true.
to be fine. He will never turn into the Hulk again.
We also learn that Warren and Candy Southern are still an item.
Wow.
Or rather have reconnected for a second time.
Oh.
I guess she left his immediate sight for a few moments and he forgot about her again until they met up in New Mexico.
Well, I guess he doesn't have much object permanence, but I don't remember him being
Well,
that
he is
shredded.
He is a bird.
I guess he's been spending all this time getting jacked, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he's been hanging out with Hercules, so...
He's also been on T for a while now.
That's true.
Because he's jacked. He was not this jacked before.
No, he is much more jacked than usual. But Candy's brought the phone out with her because the Bobster's on line 1. Bobby is looking quite handsome by John Byrne's hand, by the way. But anyway, he's calling to take Warren up on an offer he made some time back to let Bobby use his summer place in the Rockies, conveniently where we're sitting right now. And he wants to drop by because he's got a lady friend he wants to impress. And I guess Bobby just has the Champion's air car or whatever.
Well, they're not using it anymore.
I'm assuming that's what the Champion's flitter is. Champion's Volume 1 is not nearly memorable enough to have committed that factoid to memory.
Sorry, I don't know those champions, and they don't exist anymore, as far as I know.
We'll see them again in Iceman way down the line. These pages are incredibly fucking dense because while all of this is going on, the news reporter is still saying something about the government having created a Hulk cure, which makes sense because no one has heard of the Hulk since he was cured back in the late 70s.
Yeah, we don't know anything about him since then.
So this is, it's just like how Donald Blake found a cure for Doomface.
And that's also why they took the TV show off the air. No new Hulk content to keep the buzz up.
Right.
Also happening on this page, either a noir private eye or a park ranger with special eyes stares down intently at the chalet, overhearing their conversation from an unseen earpiece. While I'm more intrigued by the soap opera drama going on, the book is understandably biased towards this whole Hulk cure thing.
Who is this bitch?
Yeah, even more shredded than anyone else so far.
That's Doc Samson. So on Gamma Base, the newscaster is wrapping up his report before asking Doc Samson if he can get an interview with the Hulk.
You're welcome to try.
Sorry, he's... What? Why is he Lorna's long-lost twin brother? He's cursed with green hair.
He is.
And he's also wearing a superhero costume for some reason.
I have never understood Doc Samson's whole deal. He's a psychologist and also a bodybuilder and also has green hair and is Hulk adjacent. I don't know what his fucking deal is.
I have no idea who this man is.
Hey man, he's got his finger in a lot of pies.
He's very busy.
He knows what he likes, and he does what he likes. So
He's very busy.
Yeah, alright, more power to him then, I guess. Let's see.
But why does he have green hair?
I don't know, he looks like he's ready for WrestleMania.
Yeah, maybe he just chose this look. He's just being his authentic self.
Yeah.
Samson is not on board with giving the reporter an interview, given the Hulk's volatile temperament, but the reporter will have none of it, insisting he covered Nam. He's got this.
And Angola. Ooh, he's been to some hot spots.
But everyone's a big man till the Hulk comes crashing through the wall, which he does.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he does.
He's having some second thoughts about his confinement here.
Hulk bored.
Well, that's why you
Hulk
need
fidget toys.
Hulk need engagement.
With Big Green all riled up, Samson promptly yeets the journalist up into the canopy of a transport truck.
This is why you need to enrich the Hulk's enclosure. Come on, guys.
He's trying to turn down the temperature on this Hulk situation before it boils over. Doc wants to get him on the therapist's couch, but Hulk is instead talking with his hands, and they are reading, "Shut the fuck up!"
And he gives Samson a fucking concussion.
Yeah, he literally hammers him down to the ground like a tent peg, and like I say that a lot, but I cannot emphasize enough how
That's
literally
what he's doing that.
It's so hard to read this page any other way.
And that's when Hulk's buddy Jim rushes out from one of the buildings to calm him down. Before Doc Samson really does become the first man to actually tunnel through all the way to China.
God.
Well, he's not going to tunnel. He's going to be, but he will be tunneled.
It seems to work, though, as Hulk does not continue on his rampage anymore. The next morning, Bobby touches down in the Champion's flitter. Great view, great pad, and a flight out here on a superhero car to impress the little lady. It's a step up from shoving his gal in a taxi so he can run after men in spandex. He's learning, not that it matters, because when Teresa's back down on the ground for, more than 30 seconds, Warren emerges, shirtless, of course.
Oh my god.
And since we're all in the spirit of introductions, it looks like Ranger Dick has decided to join the party.
Oh boy.
And he has a gun!
Oh, that's fun.
The foursome hang around poolside, because I don't think anyone's been wearing anything but a swimsuit at this chalet, apart from, the
When
10 seconds. Yeah, the 10 seconds Warren was wearing pants for. Alright, I put on my pants to be fine when the guests came. Well, when in Rome. Candy doesn't seem particularly threatened by Terry, but Bobby is absolutely brimming with insecurity.
He's always kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
And that also kind of reads a certain way.
Uh-huh. It's not all helped by Warren giving Bobby's girl the show she requested, putting on his super suit and everything for her.
God.
And she's pretty taken with Warren, but I gotta point out, you'd probably be doing better with your girl if you weren't just sitting there bitching about her with Candy.
Yeah.
If you want her attention, go give her attention, you fucking clown.
Otherwise, Angel's gonna have 2 girls.
It's Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Candy's the first one to spot the mountain man as...
It's that Trains Boy swag.
Ooh.
She spots the mountain man as he drops down onto the pool deck. Everyone's on edge, but Worthington at least tries to give the intruder the benefit of the doubt, asking what they can help him with.
What kind of gun is that?
When I'm looking for help, I usually walk into someone's backyard with my big laser harpoon gun.
Yeah, laser harpoon, that's what I was about to say.
And the guy gives them something they can do to help. They can either surrender or die!
Cool. Good options.
Okay, so some garden variety anti-mutant sentiments, huh?
Yep. Before opening fire with its gun, Angel, the superhero in the room, orders the girls to run inside and lock themselves in. Terry's actually got some zest in her. She wants to stay and fight, but Candy's got an idea what might be going on here. I actually really like Candy Southern. She feels very casual and sincere, if in like a rich girl kind of way. She just kind of seems like she'd be actually fun to hang out with because she's kind of low-key, right? And like, here's the thing. I don't think we're ever actually going to get that heavily into it, but Candy's actually kind of clever. For one, she's called Bobby as Iceman here, and we've learned in, I think, the new Defenders that she's actually got some business sense, too. I just like her. I just think she's neat.
So she'd be worth following just for her alone.
She's just got a good personality, but I don't think she's... New Defenders is not a good book, despite that.
That's sad.
Yeah.
So Miss Southern manages to get Terry to follow her inside, activating the security system behind them, along with its sliding metal security shutters. With the girls gone, Bobby finally frosts over, hitting the mountain man with a cold blast of ice. But he quickly blasts it back off with his hand, demanding the mutants accept their fates.
Oh, okay, what are you, buddy?
Well, that tells the boys they can take the kid gloves off, which I guess was all that was preventing Angel from tearing his diving board into and going fucking wild.
Well, yeah, they're doing things that kill, guys. They are definitely doing things that kill people.
Well, shooting at them also kills people.
True.
So fair game.
But it is what is with the weird laser harpoon gun?
He goes fucking wild and he spikes the guy down into the pool, which Bobby promptly freezes over, leaving all but his head trapped. So they're high-fiving one another, patting each other on the backs, getting real self-congratulatory, when suddenly a blast cuts through the ice once more. Because shockingly, after the last time that didn't work, it didn't work again.
Aha.
And what's worse, Warren hurled him in the pool, but that just made him start expanding like one of those little globs.
One of those things that...
A shrinky egg?
No, the opposite of a shrinky tank.
Yeah, the thing, you put it in the water and it...
It's like a foam thing, and you put it in water and it blows up.
Yes.
Well, not blows up, but expands.
It bursts.
Oh, where did it go? Yeah, so now he is a big-ass sentinel.
Why is he how is... What?
I think he was a sentinel the whole time, John.
I did not know sentinels could do this at this point.
Sometimes. Angel's not particularly impressed, but Bobby is a little bit more cautious. He's not convinced that this is your average stock model Sentinel. He's got the upgraded rims, maybe a little something extra under the hood, opted for the leather seats.
The entertainment package.
And he's like, yeah. Well, actually, no, it's more like, for I am the Master Mold, Sentinel Supreme, and it is my sacred destiny to rid the earth of all mutants.
Ah.
Great.
Okay, hey, Master Mold, when did you have shrinking and growing powers?
It's a new feature. I mean, the Sentinels do get upgrades, so I'm willing to give it a pass, frankly. Master Mold makes a grab for the birdie, leaving Iceman to try to find a way to take the heat off Warren. And that's the plan. He starts sucking the heat out of the air and into himself, but that's only left him vulnerable, and Master Mold hits him with cold, which for reasons makes him pass out.
Why can he do that?
I don't know. Well, the heat pump thing I've seen before. The heat pump thing I understand. I don't understand why making him cold knocks him out again.
No.
That's weird.
This is all weird.
A little bit. But once Bobby is gently tucked into his shirt pocket...
Like a pen.
He's got the first mutant in his mutant collection, and he's really hot to follow up on that with a second. Warren is less excited about that, though it's not why he takes to the skies. He wants to get Master Mold away from the girls so they don't end up collateral damage in this fight. And so Master Mold's giant boot jets thunder to life in hot pursuit of the winged mutant. Back at the chalet, the girls emerge. Candy somehow correctly intuits that the Sentinel has Bobby and is after Warren. And Carrie's like, who wants Bobby?
Wow.
Ouch.
Oh.
Yeah, he really did just steal his girl.
He did.
Yeah. Hey, Warren, why do you get to have two girls?
Like Candace said, it's just that trans boy swag.
Well, I don't know. Maybe somewhere he knows.
Worthington does his best to use the rocky terrain to his advantage. But when the other guy just doesn't flinch at punching through the rocks, it doesn't do him much good.
Oh,
No.
yeah!
If anything, you lose ground to that.
Yep. But the way he smashes on through reminds Warren of the Hulk
Ah.
and the nearness of Gamma Base. So he pours everything he's got into speed, seriously alarming the air traffic controller in the
my
process.
Yeah,
God.
that's fair. That would be the most unhinged thing to see on radar.
Okay, what's this really what the fuck is that?
It's a Birdman fucking booking it.
A Birdman and a what? A what? A fucking what?
Gamma Base nearly immediately scrambles fighters to intercept this whole radar situation. They're up just in time to see Angel speed by in the other direction, and that's when they see Master Mold hauling ass towards them.
God.
And they divert. I think these are F-104s?
Something like. These are definitely based on real jet
Oh yeah,
aircraft.
I went and I looked through them. I think it's an F-104 because that tail shape is
Mhm.
very particular.
Yeah, I don't think they ever got used in active combat, but I could be wrong.
Much to Doc Samson's dismay, Gamma Base is not currently a very calming experience for sleepy Hulks.
No.
These klaxons are going to wake Hulk from his nap and make him quabby, and you won't wake him when he's quabby.
Oh, hey, someone
That's
else.
his famous line.
Someone is going to come here and make him quabby.
You won't wake him when he's angry.
Ooh.
But even through all of the chaos, Angel manages to touch down, panting for breath and unable to hold himself up. Samson actually recognizes him, but before Warren can get enough breath back to tell him, Master Mold catches up, firing an energy blast between the two super folk, and plucking up another mutant for his collection. By the wing, like that looks like it hurts.
Owie.
The Doc gives his best effort as a rescue, but punching the Sentinel didn't get the job done.
I mean, points for trying.
Yeah, he did try.
I'm not entirely sure how he ends up getting flung back in here. I think Master Mold may have stomped his foot.
Yeah. Isn't he not supposed to hurt humans?
It was just like, I'm not going to harm any humans, but I guess he
It's not
doesn't
his-
mind.
He does say it's not his purpose.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no rule against hurting humans. It's just not what he's here for.
All of this ruckus has finally awoken the Hulk, and he is indeed quabby. As Master Mold tucks Angel 2 into his breast pocket, Hulk demands to know what's going on. But the robot is fairly dismissive, telling the little man to stay out of it.
Oh, you're making Hulk mad.
Hey, you can probably guess how much Hulk enjoyed being called a little man.
Hulk, not little. Hulk is the Hulk.
So he too takes a crack at punching the robot with about as much effectivity. And the Sentinel just kind of casually kicks him away, collapsing a building on top of him.
That was a mistake.
And oh yes, because now on top of everything else, he's wet.
You're making him mad on every level you can make him.
I guess making him wet is the one thing the Hulk cannot brook. And so he leaps up after the Sentinel, clinging onto its foot.
Oh,
This fucking
Samson.
doctor.
Samson went for it too.
This dude is ridiculous.
Doc Samson gives it his own go, but he doesn't quite make it. He just kind of slams back down to earth.
God.
Upwards and upwards they climb. As they pass through the clouds, Greenjaws tears into the robot. Master Mold's pretty impressed with his chutzpah, but they're flying off into space, and Hulk does indeed still need to breathe. So I guess he just passes out for the rest of the journey. Good thing he didn't revert back to Banner this time, huh?
It's impressive that he stays holding on.
Yeah. Well, he might be lodged because he was tearing into that fucking thing.
That's fair.
I don't even know if he can revert to Banner back right now, to be fair. Master Mold finally arrives at his asteroid base, unaware of the unconscious Hulk, caught in the wreckage of his boot. I really like this page.
Oh.
You know when you step in some gum and you don't realize it?
And then you track it into the house, and it's all on the carpet, and now you can't get the gum out.
Okay, but this is a really fucking cool page.
It is. It's very nice.
Warren is the last of the bunch to awaken, only to find himself in gay baby jail once more.
Blob!
Blob.
You just put him in the blob box!
Yep, Master Mold has imprisoned them all in the mutant tubes.
New in box.
Yep, and since he didn't have one for Hulk, he wasn't really planning on Hulk, he just kind of shoved him into the blobs tubes and thought it's the one that was big enough to fit him.
Right.
Well, Angel's got some questions for Master Mold, who I guess was just sitting there watching them sleep.
Cool.
Normal. He then taunts Warren for his questions and stomps off, laughing all the way. He really must not have bothered keeping up with anything non-mutant related to the point of disregarding all other news, because if you want to trap the Hulk, you have to build to trap the Hulk. Simple blob-hardened materials will not do.
And it'll just make him angrier.
All he has to do is flex, and the tube explodes.
Yeah, you made him mad.
Yeah.
You made him real mad.
Oh, yeah. While Warren and Bobby also do break loose, they mostly just kind of stand by and watch.
Well, sometimes you can't beat
Well,
what the
that's
Hulk
thing.
does.
Ever since he woke him up, Master Mold's been turning Hulk's crank. He woke him up, and then it was loud, and then there was a stupid robot. And then the robot was messing with his friends, and then the robot was rude to Hulk, and now the Hulk is wet, and now the Hulk is in stupid tube! Hulk smash!
Hey, you're forgetting the part where the robot made him go sleep and woke him up in the stupid tube.
So, the boys just kind of let him go tearing through the space station until they come upon an observation window and observe that they are in fucking space, which is a problem.
Oh, not for Hulk.
Yeah. They've now got to find some kind of transportation, so Angel tells him to stay put while he goes to look. Taking bets, anyone want to put $5 on Hulk's he's already walking away.
I mean, he does say, Hulk has fallen further than this.
Yeah, well, he also just says stupid things.
He does.
But I
he
believe
just says
him.
things to be contrary.
But
Hulk has fallen from taller.
I believe him on this.
Bobby was told to keep an eye on Hulk, so he follows along behind him, cringing at every bit of random Hulk destruction unleashed on the space station. It's not exactly stealthy to insist on smashing everything you see, but Hulk has no interest in stealth, so he doesn't have to care about that.
It's stealth if everything in the vicinity is dead.
This time Hulk smashes his way into Master Mold's workroom, but the Sentinel doesn't seem to notice their presence. Not even when Hulk announces his entrance by yelling, "Robot!" Before we move to the next page, I want you to look at the Cerebro readout and tell me if you come to any conclusions here.
Canada?
Burn 28?
True.
Michigan is there?
Canada was the point. This is happening at the same time as the last thing because we have all these fucking mutants.
Oh my god.
All those mutants are in Canada.
I'm just impressed that they actually attempted to draw the Great Lakes because a lot of people just skip it.
No, they're pretty fucked, but they did try.
They tried.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Michigan's pretty much missing.
Yeah.
So wait, there's what, 28 mutants in Canada?
I don't know if the 28 actually has anything to do with anything.
Because it looks like there's like 77 in Vegas.
Yeah, that's a
That
lot.
seems likely. Iceman desperately tries to get him to be quiet.
No,
Because
that's not
he still didn't hear him, but again, Hulk is entirely uninterested in stealth, swatting Bobbert away and tackling Master Mold from behind.
God.
What? Who dares to attack the Master Mold? Hulk dares, robot!
I mean, how many options fucking are there up here for people who want to attack you?
Right.
Everything the Sentinel throws at them, Hulk is able to handle. Up to 1,000,000 volts of energy, which finally does knock him on his ass.
Ooh.
And the Sentinel is indeed surprised at that. And that's the last straw for Bobby Drake. Laughing? Surprised? These aren't things Sentinels do.
Yeah.
So what gives?
Yeah, I mean, they're a thing they do in like 40 years, but not now.
And Eminem is like, once I was a man with a dream and a bullet sock!
Oh my god.
Stephen Lang?
Holy shit.
Stephen Lang!
Oh my god. Okay.
I know about people who become Sentinels. Holy shit.
Once I was a man with a dream and a bullet sock up until the X-Men left my space station that was about to be irradiated. Why were they there? Don't ask questions!
God, I never thought we'd go back to this whole space station thing.
Anyway, I dragged myself off to my greatest weapon, the Master Mold, which does make a hell of a lot more sense than his claim that the X-Sentinels were his greatest weapon, because they were lame as shit, and Master Mold has a lot more to do with Sentinels.
Right.
Yeah, this is a good retcon. This is a great retcon, actually.
But unfortunately, Lang was as shit at robotics with Master Mold as he was with the rest of the knockoff Sentinels.
Oh, God.
So as his body died, his mind became one with the robots. And Angel is like, objection!
What? You can't object to that.
Lang isn't dead. He's vegetating in some hospital somewhere. And this just makes MM flip the fuck out. Honestly, it kind of feels like a really pointless distinction to me. So long as he thinks he's Lang and thinks like Lang, he's Lang in my book. But he has this existential crisis.
Well, he thought his body died.
I don't see why it's different if you're trapped in Master Mold anyway.
Yeah.
Well, but he was trapped in Master Mold because he couldn't go back to his body. Maybe he can.
Fair, but no. That's actually not the direction he takes it.
It doesn't really matter because in his mind he thought he was one person and then he just found out that person
It might
still
have to
exists
do with how
elsewhere.
insecure he is about fucking humanity, Jesus.
Also,
Right.
he is kind of insane.
Yeah. But, that existential crisis, Green Beam Supreme would like to cure him of that, the existence part of it.
Yeah. Hulk smash.
And so he just fucking tears the
shit.
Sentinel to pieces.
Bobby, why would you be sick? This is a Sentinel. This is a good thing.
That's Warren.
Yeah.
Warren.
Again, the boys just kind of sit back and watch him go.
Yeah,
I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah, Warren. It's
Exactly.
okay. It's a Sentinel. This is good.
He finally gets his fill, though, and is convinced that it is time to depart, not seeing the metal hand twitching back to life
Oh my
behind them.
god. Fuck off.
They've got their eyes on the escape pod Warren found, and they're trying to convince the Hulk to cram in there with them, which he is not happy about. He does not want to do it.
Let him jump. He says he's done higher.
Not even that, but he also... Master Mold appears on a screen nearby, and he's like, if I have to die a robot, you have to die too!
Do we also
Okay.
have to be robots and die?
Don't understand. I really don't understand the existential crisis. Like, there's definitely a horror, but I am struggling between the distinction of, I am dead Stephen Lang with a robot body, and I'm a robot with Stephen Lang's memories.
Right.
So he set off the station self-destruct and jammed the escape pods, determined to bring them down with his, self-induced decommissioning. Hulk is bound and determined that he's gonna beat Master Mold's ass, though. Exploding space station or no.
God.
Well, I guess he wasn't kidding when he said he's done higher.
I kind of love the Hulk sometimes.
I do. I've really underestimated. I've really slept on the amount of comedy that can happen in Hulk.
Just kick the pod out, take a breath, and go back in.
Yep, but when Bobby tries to taunt him, he just kicks the hatch out and pumps the pod back to Earth, airlock and all.
God.
Cue explosive decompression.
Yeah.
Which, this time, now that he's prepared for it, doesn't matter.
The X-Men are earthbound with alarming speed.
Yeah, I don't think this was designed for Hulk speed in re-entry.
They eventually re-enter the atmosphere, and with Bobby's ice, they manage to ride it out until splashdown. They then crawl free from the pod onto an ice raft to recover and get their bearings. Down here on Earth, there's not much they can do for the Hulk, but he did just save them. But a moment later, there's not even space left for thought, as they watch a brilliant flash of light in the sky, the station's fusion reactor blowing.
It's fine. It's the Hulk. He's fine.
He just eats the radiation.
Yeah, actually. If anything, he's stronger now.
Their hearts sink with the realization that even the Hulk couldn't have made it out of that alive.
As we just proved. Sorry. Okay, keep going.
Bitch, you thought!
We never had doubt.
Apparently he didn't manage to fight his way back inside the space station. He just got swept out with the rest of the wreckage and then grabbed onto the pod to ride it out on the way through the atmosphere.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, so he rode that thing all the way down. Wow.
After being reminded he has places to be, the Hulk then bounds off for the desert.
Thanks?
And that just leaves the boys to head back. I, for one, am shocked that Bobby is in no particular rush to get back to his date. Who could have foreseen this?
I have no idea.
So what did you think about that? How do you rate that?
That was pretty fun.
It was dumb, but very fun.
It was very dumb fun.
So, 3.5.
4.
Sure, I'm gonna give that a hearty 4.
How do you think CMRO thought?
Oh.
2.
Excuse me.
They're right between us. 3.83.
Ah.
Mm.
See, I always try to go way too high or way too low because
CMRO had bad opinions.
Yeah. I just assume that their opinions are like...
Bad. Next up, we've got the X-Men 1979 annual. This is actually slightly out of order, but it shouldn't be too important. I would like to avoid screwing up the next two-parters, so here we are. This one is written by Chris Claremont, penciled by George Perez, inked by Terry Austin, colored by Glynis Wein, and lettered by Tom Orzechowski. There's one new name there that might stand out to you.
George Perez?
Mm-hmm.
I know that name.
He is also a noteworthy figure. George Perez's family came to New York from Puerto Rico, and something I always think is really fun is that he's involved with creating Marvel's first Puerto Rican superhero, White Tiger.
Woo!
Who I ran into a lot when I read through Spider-Man, actually. He's also really well known for a lengthy run over at DC, and over on Marvel he's done some pretty noteworthy work on Avengers. So
Good for him.
we're actually going to end up back in his ballpark a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get to it. Marvel New Yorkers have seen fucking everything. But it still catches you off guard. One minute you're working your newsstand, and then the next, in a flash, a half-naked man stands soliloquizing in the middle of the street.
Oh!
I mean,
Hey.
Thor is around, so that does happen fairly often.
So this is a Thor guy. That's what they think. This is some kind of Thor guy.
It is he, Archon the Magnificent! Archon the lacking in taxi fare! Archon the has to walk to Avengers Mansion!
God.
To ruin Jarvis's nice, peaceful morning.
Ugh.
Can't they just take it somewhere else?
Leave this man alone.
Let the man have his milk and Sunday morning newspaper. It's the simple pleasures. But Archon steps on his newspaper because he's an asshole.
He's a dick.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't read a lot of Avengers comics, but I would die for Jarvis.
I know. We all would.
Archon demands to speak with Thor. But none of the Avengers are here right now. You are ruining this man's day off.
So wait, so this is a Thor guy, effectively.
Well, his first appearance was in Avengers, but we're not covering it.
Yeah,
because...
But at his core, he's kind of a Thor guy, even if he's not
Thor adjacent.
Thor.
I mean,
guess.
he's magical and vaguely godly, I suppose.
He picks up the butler by the throat, slamming him back into the wall.
No! This is why he gets hazard pay.
Yep. Demanding he summon Thor, who is not even avenging right now. He then has some sort of mental conversation with the Grand Vizier of his world, assisting him on his quest. He'd hoped to find Thor, but with that option lost, all truly seems hopeless. But the Vizier thinks he has someone else in mind who can help them out with this.
Wait, hold on. He's a good guy?
So Archon finally drops Jarvis and walks out, and I guess that's that. In the X-Mansion, even though Scott is playing coach for this Danger Room session, Banshee's actually the one running the machine because his scream machine broke.
He's still
out of commission.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wolverine's pretty PO'd that he's not actually fighting, but I'm pretty sure that were Banshee not hurt, Scott would still not be fighting because he'd be running the Danger Room.
Right.
But since he's down here, he could help.
Yeah.
But this is more a test. Colossus is a big boy, and he says he doesn't need Psyche's help fighting this stupid robot, right before being hurled across the room by said stupid robot. His own strength reflected back at him. Cyclops tells Piotr off for once again getting into a mindless slugfest with their opponents, rather than using his head.
Who do you think you are? The Hulk?
But that's about all he has to offer, apparently opting to see how far they can make it on their own. Up top, Banshee turns on some fans that leave Aurora caught in midair.
Ooh.
Logan tries to come to her aid, but is ensnared by floor tentacles.
Of course he is.
Fucking floor tentacles. Always.
Always with the floor tentacles.
The session isn't going well, and Summers tries to call it, but Aurora finds a way out of the trap. She sends crackling lightning flashing into the fan overhead, and it explodes, sending shrapnel everywhere.
And almost beheading,
Yep, almost beheading Banshee, dodging a particularly large piece of fan blade, exploding through the control room glass, and burying itself in the main computer.
Oh
poor
no.
Banshee.
And so the Danger Room goes haywire, just turning everything to on.
Ah, yes, because it wasn't on enough.
If we were still doing bingo, we would definitely need a space for the Danger Room is borked.
Yeah.
That is a reoccurring problem.
Scott really emphasizes the need for a shutdown when he yells up to the control booth this time. But Cassidy can't do anything for him. Everything up here is fucked, and he's actually busy putting out fires right now.
Yeah.
Was he putting out a fire on him?
No, I think it's
just on the floor.
Ah, for a moment I thought he was literally
It's just
putting out a fire on his arm.
It's just a weird perspective.
So, plan 2, get to the emergency shutdown switch before it gets accidentally destroyed in the ruckus.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That shouldn't be possible.
Right?
I don't know, it seems like...
This is badly designed. This is fail-safe off.
I know we haven't gotten there yet, but I love this panel where Scott's I-beam is going through the sound effect.
Oh, that's really cute. I didn't even notice that. With an assist from Scotty, Piotr hurls the robot he was fighting at Wolvie, so that's done. And now Scott can get the order across to everyone. Get to the fucking switch, whatever it takes. So, in their own unique ways, the X-Men take their cracks at it. Nightcrawler decides he's just going to walk along the walls, where it's safe.
Yes.
Is it?
Safe.
Not so much. The Danger Room gives Kurt the teenager treatment, seeping oil out of all of its pores to dislodge him. Before hurling him backward. Colossus, seeing how well walking just worked, decides he will walk. Which he does up until he steps on an aerial faith plate and is sent flying through the air like an eagle, piloting a blimp.
And then clangs off of a fucking one in the ceiling, too.
What is this, a Sonic the Hedgehog level?
But what comes up must come down, and Piotr comes down right next to his friends, sending Scott fucking sprawling. But somehow it's actually managed to get him into a better position where he can hit the emergency switch with his eyes, and the gizmos and gadgets of the Danger Room fall lifeless.
He uses his I-beam, not his actual eyeball.
Yes,
His
correct.
I-beam punching.
Mm-hmm.
His eye punching.
Punches the shit out of that button.
Would have been a little funny if it broke.
It would have been a lot funny if it broke.
I punch it too hard.
Having inadvertently caused all of this, Aurora feels humiliated and just terrible, wanting some time away from the rest of the group. But Scott follows, wanting to make sure she's all right. Aurora's been struggling with being an X-Man in general. Back in Kenya, she used to use her powers to help instead of just to fight. Where's there room for a life for any of them? That's not something Scott's really ever had an answer for either, but he's still here for her if she needs anything. He trusts her and would like her to be able to trust them. It's not really something Aurora expected out of Scott, though it's a pleasant surprise. She's still troubled, though, when she finds her way up to her veritable oasis in the attic, tending to her plans. She doesn't see the man peering in through the skylight at her, and his entrance goes unheard. She does notice the colder air from outside, though, and turns to investigate, only to be hit with Archon's go-to attack, the throat grab.
God.
He insists she's coming with him, but Aurora disagrees.
That was a mistake.
Hurling him across the room with a gust of wind that doesn't so much as rustle the leaves of the plants in Storm's garden.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
I love this.
No one has even had time to change out of their practice clothes. When we find Scott and Sean in the living room, Scott's still in costume, resting on a chair after that emotionally exhausting conversation.
Oh, and he wishes Jean was still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, right, we haven't resolved that.
Nope. Well, because everybody left.
They did. Xavier's still in space. Jean is
in
quote-unquote
Scotland.
dead.
Yeah, it sounds like a joke when I say he's emotionally exhausted, but I literally feel how tired that conversation would have made me felt.
Yeah.
And considering what he's now thinking about, no wonder he's kind of broken right now.
And considering he's fucking autistic, it takes a lot of energy to have those kinds of conversations. Sean, too, is still in his tattered turtleneck, noting that Aurora's really going at it, huh? Listening to all that thundering. I mean, sure, there was some thunder, but some of that is just Archon getting pinballed around the house as he falls through the ceiling.
So wait, is anyone paying for the house at this point?
Well,
I think it's paid off.
Yeah, I think it's paid off.
Yeah, but what about...
Who's paying for the
I imagine there's a trust and everything set up. He did just leave, but I'm sure he did,
That's true.
set up the phone and everything.
He disconnected the phone.
Right,
Well, he definitely didn't take the money with him.
True.
Right, so I'm sure he still got things set up for if it doesn't work out, you know.
God, I hope so.
Well, luckily Archon only landed on his head, so nothing was damaged.
Nothing but a stupid fucking helmet.
Archon's fine, but it does give Summers the time he needs to place the man. Some guy the Avengers stopped from destroying the world. Really not the kind of company he wants in the house, so he kicks him out. Blasting Archon through the window, where he lands in the pool.
This idiot is getting a lot more than he bargained for.
I think he came to get help, is the thing.
If you've ever... He grabbed her by the throat.
I know.
I don't care if he came to get help. Fuck that
He's
guy.
a bad guy, and he's trying to be good, and he's not good at it.
I don't know that he is trying to be good. We don't know anything about what he's doing.
If you've ever worked up a sweat and then gone for a swim, you'll know how awesome that is. I always hated dry lands when I was on swim team, but doing the swimming afterward felt really good because all the sweat gone.
Yeah.
I don't know what a dry land is.
It's just doing dry land exercises, weights
working
and
out.
stuff.
Ah.
Sometimes we did yoga. So it's not a huge surprise that Piotr's outside ready for a swim. He's pretty surprised, though, when someone goes flying out the window and splashes down in the pool. Piotr's a pretty cool guy, and immediately rushes over to help him out before Scott runs outside. All he's got to say is, this clown just attacked Storm, and Piotr's like, no more Mr. Nice Guy!
He was about to help, and now he's about to murder.
Yep, he immediately shifts to Colossus, and Archon's first impulse is to punch the man covered in metal.
Great.
Clever.
But Colossus is better at punching than Archon. And he sends the warrior crashing backwards into a tree. Everyone else has joined the party, including Storm, who tells him to lay down his weapons so they can talk. But Archon listens to no female!
Oh, gross.
Oh, God.
Instead getting to his feet to continue fighting. He spots Colossus as his most powerful foe, which is the most hilariously funny wrong assessment he could make, apart from, like, I asked my strongest foe, this twink. You have the unkillable man made of knives, the man with a cannon on his face, and a woman with all the fury of the weather on her hands, and you're afraid of the punchy guy.
Right.
Because he's not a smart man, okay? He sees the punchy guy, he thinks the punchy guy must be the dangerous one.
He pulls out a red lightning bolt from his quiver, using it to take his most dangerous opponent out of the mix. See, he's about to learn on that judgment call.
Yep.
Wolverine slashes straight through the Empyrean's shield, and he doesn't even see himself as one of the big guns here.
My shield! Your claws smashed it! But that's impossible!
He actually does better than the big guns, though. Sight's Blast doesn't put him back any, and despite Nightcrawler's attempts to restrain him, Archon also hits Scott with one of the red lightning bolts, and then he's down. I think Nightcrawler is still trying to choke him with his tail when he locks eyes on Storm, pulling this time a yellow bolt from his quiver and throwing it at her. In a flash of light, Storm is gone. One more dear friend lost then.
Oh no.
I do have a question for Kurt, though. While I do respect the throat grab, and I do feel it's particularly appropriate given its Archon's behavior, why, oh why, would you not restrain the arms he's using to throw lightning bolts at people with? Maybe that's why Kurt is the one who seems to react with the most immediate fury.
Murderer!
Bamfing from attack to attack. First a kick, then a bamf dodge, and an attack from behind. He's not the only one, though. Having just watched his friends murder, Piotr's pretty much ready to pay him back in kind.
Yeah, it looks like Piotr's about to break him.
Yeah, he hurls Archon once more back into the pool, and while the warrior's fishing himself out of the drink, Piotr rips a massive tree out of the ground.
Yeah.
Archon busies himself beating on Wolverine, but the burly Russian swings for the bleachers.
Hey, bada, swing!
The tree shattering to pieces against the warrior's hard body. He's still alive and conscious, but the X-Men are able to get their hands on him now.
Wow, and Wolverine's gonna...
Yeah, quite obviously in a literal way, Logan introduces Archon to his claws, extending them right in his face. He's definitely also down with the murder vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're prepared to kill this man.
But he holds for Scott to ask some questions. Namely, what the fuck is your deal? Why did you attack us? Why did you hurt Storm? With the threat of releasing Logan's handbrake should he not answer.
He's not here to force him to talk. He's here to stop Logan from killing him. For now.
For now. But that doesn't faze Archon. After dealing with the Avengers, he's got an idea about superhero ethics.
Wrong issue. Wrong volume.
Yeah.
Wrong series.
He might have Scott down here, but I think he's severely overestimating how long that handbrake's gonna work for.
Yeah, Wolverine has killed before. He will kill again.
If Logan thinks Scott's never gonna pull the trigger and Archon's just gonna stay living after killing Aurora, I think Archon's got another thing coming.
Archon's in the wrong book. He doesn't know the tropes.
Sean whispers over for Scott to confirm, like, this actually is a bluff, right, boss? It's like, yeah, it is. It's like, you should probably make sure Wolverine knows that. To which Scott's like, yeah, fair turnabout, yeah. And he calls Logan off the murder after a moment's time to think. Because to give him the time to give Archon's TV footage the mental playback, and he remembers Archon vanishing some scientists with his golden lightning bolts, and Aurora was the only one who got hit with them, but the Avengers brought the scientists back. They'd just been teleported, so Storm might actually still be alive.
She better be.
Archon won't answer, but Scott doesn't particularly care, just pulling all the golden lightning bolts out of the quiver and casting them upon the ground. So, I gotta say, I'm really liking lately so much of those are my friends. This whole trip has been just to bind them together, and it's worked really well.
You know what? I feel like Scott is... I don't think Scott's being entirely honest with Banshee here about this is a bluff. I think it's only a bluff if they can get Aurora back.
I think he would not stop him, but he would not say do it.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't stop him. Not after that. If that man just killed Aurora.
I also think particularly for Scott and Logan, getting them away from everyone else, getting them away from Jean and away from the professor gives them a chance to come together as an actual team.
Right.
Essentially, we saw something like that when Xavier went away for a while, too.
Yeah, things always get better when Xavier's gone.
Weird how that works.
The X-Men 2 disappear in a flash of light, reappearing in the middle of a 300 cosplay made-up.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they've all got stupid helmets here. This is just a cultural thing. Logan's still got his claws out at Archon's threat, so the only real route available here is ransom. Archon's their prisoner. Give us Storm and we won't kill your king. But Archon's like, fuck that, get their asses! There are way too many people in this fight for anyone to be doing anything effective. They're all just bumping into one another.
God.
That is absolutely ridiculous. But it looks like they just invaded Asgard or some shit.
It does, man. With that, the Grand Vizier makes his escape. They need to act now before the X-Men have a chance to get to Storm. And watching the three of them in combat, they still might somehow manage to pull it off, even if the odds are stacked against them. And so the wizard quickly makes for the temple. A bitch might know how to save his planet, but I'm doubtful because apparently the Vizier can't fucking count.
3 of them.
You might remember there were 4 X-Men.
I was about to say something about that, but...
The last of them creeps along behind him on the ceiling, in the shadows.
I love him.
Back in the brawl, Logan spots the exit, and the group work their way over towards it. Cyclops is able to collapse the roof behind them, so now hopefully they can rescue Storm. Not that it's going to be easy, because even out of the big brawl, everyone they encounter fights with a warrior's spirit, and as they emerge into a large city square, they are once more engulfed in battle.
Well, it is like attacking Asgard, only easy mode. Wow, yeah, this really is like Asgard.
Unseen by them, the Vizier rides his mount away from the city, high up into the mountains where the temple stands perched.
I love the art in this book, actually.
Yeah, I really am appreciating.
The art in this is just, it's different. It feels like it's being done in an old-fashioned style, but the framing is so much more modern.
It's really fucking good. I'm really into it. George Perez, man.
It's got some very modern framing, but it's got an old, timey style.
He was noteworthy for reasons,
man. Yeah, I can see why. He was rewriting how you do this style of art.
The dark night that hangs in the sky is not something normal here. Generally, it's daylight all of the time, but now the night has fallen. Leaving his mount, the Vizier enters the temple, where Aurora, wearing an outfit...
terrible outfit.
It's not even like a hot outfit, it's just really gaudy.
Yeah.
It's trying to be too many things at once.
It is. While Storm may accept her death, Nightcrawler does not. But there doesn't seem to be time to talk to the others. They kind of seem like they're going to get to this toot sweet. And so he comes up with a plan. And that plan is to attack Storm, wrapping her cape around her head. The attack triggers her claustrophobia, and Storm lashes out, cutting the sky with a huge bolt of lightning as she blasts Kurt back.
Oof. Was that his plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. She only realizes her mistake after it's too late. Outside, Logan spots the lightning bolt. He knows where to go, but not how to get there. But don't worry. Someone else has got this covered.
Fastball special?
You know, when we were doing the bingo board and I put moments of indescribable badass on it, it was moments like Colossus, tits out, riding atop a dragon.
My God!
Holy shit!
Holy shit. Okay.
Oh, wow.
He scoops his friends out of the Donnybrook, and they escape to go rescue Aurora. Scott is absolutely tapped out, though. Which is something I actually really like, because this used to be something that happened with him. He'd go full bore and exhaust himself, sometimes even like he'd faint. And I love that while he still hasn't achieved full control, and indeed can't, except for when Joss Whedon has brainworms, Scott's powers have grown. His stamina is so far improved over where he was in the first issue, passing out in a fight with Magneto. But he's still not limitless.
Wait, he's solar powered?
Kind of, sort of, kind of.
Okay.
There are like two different explanations. They don't go well together. I've kind of put it together as the solar beams allow him to open the portal from the punch dimension.
The punch dimension is always so funny.
Don't fall into the punch dimension.
You'll be punched.
Don't spike the punch dimension. God. But anyway, they make for the temple, though Aurora warns them back, her electrical storm crackling through the air. I love Scott's one-word answer to Colossus when he asks what to do. Land.
Yeah. Land before the dragon crashes.
Yeah, I don't need to find a new and unique way to experience a plane crash.
See, I always saw it as just laser focus. It's like, no, I don't care, fuck it, land, we're going to storm.
I don't know, this feels more like plane? Oh no.
I can take it either way as either flat, because either way it's still really fucking funny.
Yeah.
I take it as the laser focus, though. But Wolverine and Cyclops then hop off of the dragon, landing on a platform jutting off of the temple. Aurora insists that they leave. She promised to help these people. Logan won't leave without her, though. Now Archon 2 has made his way to the temple through hidden passages, and he challenges that if they take Storm, they doom his entire planet, finally bothering to explain what was going on instead of just grabbing.
Oh my god, it just hit me. He needed Thor because Thor's a weather guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Storm is an acceptable substitute.
Exactly.
Fuck.
He really is a bad guy asking for help.
Archon's world, rather than being warmed and lit by a sun, is surrounded by some kind of incandescent energy ring. But in recent years, it's begun deteriorating. When the Avengers found their way here, they found a solution for the problem. Iron Man, built a device to power the rings, and Thor gave it a good jolt to start the engines. But then, a few weeks back, the machine broke.
That dang, you should have gotten Tony Stark to build it. Tony Stark would have done better.
Now, I think it was a Tony Stark design. They should have gone to find Justin Hammer. He'd have fixed that.
Yeah, and it would have also minted Bitcoin. Don't tell me Justin
Using their
Hammer.
fucking planet to mine Bitcoin.
I am loving it. I love this. Headcanon accepted, man.
God.
Oh, holy shit. Oh God, where was I? Oh, right, the machine broke. The machine broke, and while they were able to repair it, they haven't been able to get it started again because it needs that jolt of power. And what's worse, the rings are almost degraded to the point of no return. There's no time left. They need Storm's help. Cyclops asks Logan, for some reason, to take a look at the device and see if they can change it around.
You know, the X-Men's fucking engineering specialist.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he's like in redneck engineering. He's got a roll of duct tape.
Yeah.
Some bread ties and
Well,
somehow
that's kind of what he
work.
says. He says, I'm a tinkerer. Sophisticated electronics work is way out of my league.
But I've got a hammer in this duct tape.
Yeah.
But he wants him to reconfigure the machine to work on optic blasts, which is somehow different.
Okay.
Eye punch. He wants it to work with eye punching.
Yes. He's got a plan, and he thinks that maybe this one will end in someone dying. But I don't know if that's necessarily what he thinks, because he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Logan heads over with the screwdriver to have a look-see, and Colossus holds Storm in the air to act as a ground, and then she begins to charge up, calling the lightning down into herself, storing the energy. It builds and builds and builds to a visible glow, and then they let loose, pouring their energy into Scott, which they can do, I guess.
And Scott won't die?
No, they play pretty fast and loose with what energy Scott can absorb, so I'll accept it, particularly because Chris sells me. Lightning leaps from Storm's outstretched hands, and try as he might, Cyclops cannot hold back a scream, as his mutant metabolism desperately tries to absorb this raw energy and convert it into the power behind his optic blasts. But Cyclops' system is genetically geared to absorb solar energy, not lightning. It's like a high-performance engine primed for high-octane premium gas, suddenly forced to run on low-octane regular.
Okay, so he's rolling coal. I get it.
It runs rough. It may even explode. The same holds for Cyclops. But see, here's what I think. I think he didn't know if it would kill Storm or not, but he was like, it'd be better if I died than Storm.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
Cyclops.
I don't want my friend to die, but it's okay if I die.
Exactly.
Cyclops.
Kurt and Logan finish up their work just as Scott begins to find the buildup unbearable. He then unleashes, blasting all of this energy back out into the machine. The sky's filled with crackling energy as the device jolts to life, bringing the energy ring back, though at what price? The mountain is nearly leveled, though the device crackles on faithfully.
Oh my god.
Among the rubble and bodies of warriors lay the X-Men, Archon the Imperator, the Vizier, and his attendants. But luckily, all the important people are okay. No word on those warriors, huh?
The attendants? What attendants?
There weren't any attendants. Don't worry about their families.
What's left to do but celebrate and get some new duds?
Oh god.
Archon invites them to stay and help him conquer the universe, but they're good to just go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like their style.
About that.
And so Archon uses his lightning bolts to once more cast them back across the divide to their home. How do you like that?
That was...
It was, again, dumb but fun.
Yeah, it was.
I love how Archon absolutely was so completely outclassed. This is very funny.
Yeah, he did get fucking chumped on, didn't he?
He did.
He did. In fact, the entire forces of this world got dunked on.
An entire warrior race got dunked on by the X-Men.
And not even, like, the infinite X-Men of the future. Just...
I also like how in these outfits they got, the men are dressed way more skimpily than Aurora is.
As is the style of this world.
Yeah.
Somehow Scott finds his way into shirts with a deep V many, many times.
Yeah.
It's because he's a hoe. They probably gave him a selection of outfits to choose between, and he went with that one.
Yeah.
So, score. 4? 4?
3.5.
4.
3.5, but there was some stuff that I didn't enjoy as much, but I don't enjoy the random slugfest with warrior dudes as much as some people do.
The art, though, like, this is...
The art's really good, yeah.
If someone drew something...
the art is gorgeous.
I feel like if someone drew something like this now, it would feel off, because it's sort of an older style being moved into a newer framing, which is weird, but at the time, that's brilliant.
This is really gorgeous, I think.
It is.
He's got to go up there. This has got to go up there with some of the favorites. How do you think CMRO felt?
Did they hate it?
4.
2.
3.17.
They did not like it as much as we did.
No. I haven't liked it as much on past read-throughs either. I liked it more this time, so it may be something that's a little more enjoyable when you're not breezing through it.
Yeah.
But I think that's gonna be it for us.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We did all our plugs in the middle, so...
It's our first...
Gotcha!
It's our first long episode, and...
It actually ended up shorter than I thought it would. I was worried we were gonna actually breach the 3-hour mark.
Ooh, boy.
That would be something.
We did a good job, though, folks. We kept it succinct, and we're gonna be back at you in a couple of weeks, and we look forward to talking to you then. Bye!
Bye.